It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a servitor. Wonder if I could create a servitor to wash my dishes for me. Howdy and hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to my house. I hope you are doing absolutely fabulous. I have gotten a lot of questions about servitors. I've talked about it a lot over on my TikTok, but it's really hard to get everything out that I want to say in a short 3-minute video. So I want to bring that conversation over here onto my YouTube channel and let's talk about servitors. First things first, what is a servitor? A servitor is a thought form entity that you create to carry out a very specific task. That's right, you can create an entity. A lot of people focus on deities and angels and demons and all these other entities within magic, and they reach out to them to help them with specific things. But did you know you could create your own entity to assist you with something very specific? That's what a servitor is. Now, a lot of people get servitors confused with tulpas, but there is a difference. A servitor is a temporary assistant, so to speak. They are meant to serve you and you alone in something very specific, and then they are destroyed. Now, a tulpa is a companion. It's another thought form entity, but it's a companion that you create to be with you likely forever. And I highly recommend to research both of these. If you're looking for a companion, a servitor is likely not going to be your best option, but rather a tulpa. But there's a lot of conversations within the tulpa community and a lot to learn about, and that is not my field of expertise. So I highly recommend that if that's something you're interested in, that you go research on your own and find a group or someone that is more versed in the area of tulpas than I am and has more experience. Because honestly, I have zero experience with tulpas. I only have experience with servitors. What are some tasks that you could assign to a servitor? Well, you can create a servitor to help protect your home. You could create a servitor to help you find the perfect home. You can create a servitor to help you do research on a research paper. It's pretty endless what you can create a servitor to do, but understand that everything has its limits. Do not abuse this process and try to do something absolutely wild. Like, again, creating a servitor to help you win the lottery, probably not going to happen. Let's be realistic in the things that we're trying to accomplish in life, okay? Now, how can a servitor help you buy a house or do research? You can create a servitor to help bring things to your attention, help bring the right properties up in searches online, or help them bring it to your attention via somebody else. Or when doing research for a research paper, create a servitor to help bring the right topics to your attention, pulling things up online. When you're doing searches, you can create a servitor to make sure that they're really filtering through and finding the best information for you for your research paper. And for protection, you can create servitors to literally patrol your property and protect you from entities or energies that you don't want entering your property. They can be a form of a ward for you. It's important to note that when you're creating a servitor, the intention should always be, this is for a temporary purpose. Even if it's for protection, it should be temporary. And the reason being is that over time, a servitor can become more and more powerful, and then you can no longer control them, and then they just kind of do whatever they want. So it should always be that you understand it's going to be a very temporary situation, and you can always create another servitor for that same purpose, but I don't recommend keeping the same one around for extended periods of time. Now, how long you keep a servitor around is going to depend on you. You have this relationship with your servitor, so you're gonna have to understand when it's time to let it go. And again, if it's for something for like shopping for a house or a car or doing research, you're gonna know when it's time to destroy them because the project will be over, or you found your house, or you found your car, or whatever. You'll know that it's that time to end the relationship with your servitor and basically just disintegrate them, I guess is a word. Using words like kill, destroy, and disintegrate sounds harsh, but that's what it is. You will have a kill switch for your servitor, and when their job is done, they are returned to source. Something that's so great about a servitor is that they are only meant to serve you and nobody else. They are in servitude to you. They are yours. Understand, this is not a person. It is not a human. It does not have the thought processes that we do. It does not have feelings. It's not that type of sentient being. So do not create an emotional attachment to your servitors. You're just going to get yourself into trouble if you start doing that. They're not pets, and I know it's something you create, so it feels like, like it's your little creation, your little baby, but you have to go into it understanding that they don't think like you, they don't feel like you, they're not like you. They were created for a very specific purpose, and once that purpose has been carried out, it's time to return them to source. And I know that's hard for a lot of people, and if you think that's something that would be difficult for you, working with servitors probably is not the best fit for you. When you create a servitor, it's very important that you have a contract. There has to be parameters, and you need to be so super specific, because this is going to help ensure that the servitor does not get out of hand. So you want to make sure that you set up a contract of everything that it is capable of doing and everything that it cannot do. And you also want to make sure that you create a kill switch for if something gets out of hand or you need to end it quickly. Whatever this kill switch is will end the servitor and return it to source with a quickness. You can put basically a death day on there. You're going to have a date on there where the servitor is created, so like a birthday, so to speak, and also a death day. You can put a death day on there saying like, hey, I need you to help me for X amount of time, and on this date, you will basically just return to source and you will be destroyed. It's not something you can do so you know that it will never get to a certain point, but you also want to have a kill switch, either a phrase or a sigil or something like that that will end the servitor like that if you need to. You also want to make sure that you give a servitor a name, and you want it to be something unique so you don't it doesn't get confused with something else. Give it a unique name, and also give it an appearance. Like when you are creating a servitor, you're really, because this is coming from you, you want to be so specific. So think about your servitor and think about what it's going to look like. Give it a name, give it an appearance, and write all of this down in your contract, like what its name is, what it looks like, when will it be created, what are all its capabilities, what can it not do, and when is its end date, or what is the kill switch. Even if you have an end date on there, make sure you still have a kill switch in place. But if you don't have a specific date where you know you're not going to need it anymore, still make sure you've got that kill switch in place. Something else to think about with servitors is they have to have a place to live, a place to go back to, a place like a central location, a headquarters, so to speak. So they have to have somewhere to live. Now, a lot of people, this will be like a crystal or a shell. It can be any type of a figurine or an object, but you set that place up. So here, like as an example, I could set this up, this organite pyramid, and this could be where my servitor lives. This is its home. This is where it goes back to. This is its headquarters. This is where it lives. This is where it stays until I need it. So this object will represent my servitor, and that's where it will stay. That's going to be its house, giving it a place to live. And you also want to make sure that you are feeding your servitor. This is something I see a lot that people are not talking about. They're not talking about feeding your servitors. Your servitor is energy. It's made of energy. You have to feed it for it to do the things it needs to do for it to have that energy. And you will decide what feeds the servitor. That's also in the contract, along with where it lives, what it feeds on. What do you feed your servitor? And I say feed, like not necessarily food, but you're feeding it some type of energy. Some people, when they say, when I light this very specific incense, that is me feeding my servitor. When I light this specific candle, that is me feeding my servitor. Something like that. If you have a servitor that lives in your phone because it's meant to help you with things digitally, then you can say, I feed my servitor by writing it a letter in my notes app, or something like that is a way you feed your servitor. Or hey, when I charge my phone, that's when I'm feeding my servitor. But you have to feed it. You have to give it that energy so that it can maintain that. So you've given it a place to live, you've given it a name, you've given it appearance, you've decided what you're going to feed it, and you know what it can and cannot do, and you've given it a kill switch. So then you have to come down to creating it, which is a whole process. It's going to vary from person to person. And if you want me to do a video on how to create a servitor, let me know down below in the comments, because that's something I would love to create for you guys. Now, something that I like to do that you don't have to do with my servitors is I like to give it a command for when it goes back to its house and when it comes out to do the job that I've given it to do. So I give it a command, which is usually a phrase that I will say, something very specific that will tell the servitor it's time for you to do the job that you were meant to do. And then if I just need it to not be doing what it's doing and go back to his house to be dormant for a while, then I have a separate phrase that's very specific that tells the servitor to go back to its house and chill out for a while until I need it again. So these were the very basic principles of servitors, what they are, how they work, and kind of what goes into it. Again, creating a servitor is a process that takes place over time because you're creating an entity. You can't just expect it to poof happen like that. So like I said, if you want me to create a video on how to make a servitor, let me know in the comment section down below. There's other creators on YouTube that have made videos talking about how to create servitors as well. So go ahead and search them up, and there's lots of good information out there. You just gotta look. I hope you guys liked this video. Please, if you did, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so that you never miss a video. And with that, I will bid you all farewell. I hope you have a wonderful day, week, month, year, life. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.